proposal. I see one comment on the chat. So if I can ask you, Margaret, to check what the chat, if there's some questions, because I'm not able to take a look at the chat and the slides.
Absolutely, it's no problem. Thanks. Yeah.
Was it something relevant, or should I continue with the?
You can continue, Lotta. Yeah.
It just popped up in the screen. So.
Okay.
So here you can see the. So here you can see the kind of lighthouses. So these lighthouses guide our work, and the call is structured around these lighthouses. So we are calling now a new project, so you can apply funding for upscaling, lifelong learning, PhD summer and winter school, and then risk capacity building. And all these project types need to kind of fit in with these three lighthouses that are presented on the right-hand side. So sustainable discovery and supply, sustainable material for future mobility, and raw materials and circular society. So it's quite a kind of bottom-up approach, as long as you fit and the theme fits underneath.
May I chip in a little bit here, Lotta?
Yes, please.
So sustainable discovery and supply, right? That is covering the exploration and mining and the processing of materials. It doesn't need to be the process, right? I mean, your consortium or your project idea can be anything that are helping this area to become more efficient and increasing the competitiveness of Europe. So you can have innovations or ideas in the field of software, electronics, artificial intelligence that fits into this environment. Also, sustainable materials. We say here innovation in electrification. So that is basically e-mobility and lightweight materials. But it can be anything like graphene, 2D materials combined with something that provides certain features. So again, it doesn't need to be based on metals and minerals. It can be some other kind of materials as well. Sorry, Lotta.
No, good addition. Please, Ulf, just feel free to jump in where you have something to say. So as Ulf explained the lighthouses a little bit more, I will go through the project types, and then we will share some more detailed examples. So in the upscaling, this is to take your technology to the market. The lifelong learning is to upskill and reskill the existing workforce. Here, the industry demand is very important. And then PhD summer winter school is short courses for the PhD students. So typically like a 2-week summer course or something like that. And then this risk capacity building, this is regional innovation scheme. So here the lead partner, so the person who is responsible needs to come from this moderate innovative countries. So Trinity can't be the lead in this risk capacity building, but you can take part if you have, if you're approached by, let's say, Tallinn Technology University, and they want to kind of exchange knowledge and build their capacity through some program that you have, then you can take part. But we can discuss that in a later part. Then a little bit detailed information of the upscaling, if you will take this slide.
So upscaling projects are what we call innovation projects. They're based on validated technologies that need additional steps for future progress. So we are talking about relatively high TRL level, TRL 5. You should typically take it to TRL 7 at the end of the project. And there is also a requirement for commercialization. So we have one project now at Trinity that is pulse additive, that is kind of a new technology for additive manufacturing 3D printing. And they already formed their projects between Trinity and some other research centers in Italy. And there are also 2 SMEs part of this, right? And those SMEs will be the commercialization carrier later on to take those products into the market. So objective of upscaling is to bring technology to the market. So that is for us to bring impact, and EIT have that with all kicks, right? So they would like to see products, a service or a process in the market, selling to that market within 3 years after the project termination. Then a little bit of formalia here, right? The project consortium must consist of minimum 2 EIT Raw Materials partners. So Trinity is now a partner. You can go to our website, you can see all our other partners. We have about 400 partners across Europe. And so you can easily team up with someone else. If you need help to reach out to those guys and find the right people, you talk to me or you talk to Lotta, or you can talk to anyone else in our community up here in the north as well. You should also come from 2 different countries, right? So you can't just do Ireland alone, right? You need to do Ireland together with university in the Nordic region, or in Germany, or in South Europe. And you need a university, or I would say academia research corner here, right? So either another university or RTU. But you are a university, so you can reach out directly to an end customer with a challenge, and you can work with that challenge, right? And then also maybe add on an SME in that consortium. But we help out in this, right? We help out, and we can try to find SMEs that are willing also to work together with you guys. Project may receive up to 70% of the budget as a grant. That means there is a co-funding requirement here. And the typical project volumes are between 1.5 million euros up to 5 million. I think I didn't miss anything, right?
No, you didn't miss anything. And then a little bit kind of same high level information from the education project. So here the aim is to boost the innovation with skilled talents. So with people, talent who can answer to the kind of changing needs of the industry. You need to have a kind of clear learner profile. So who is your target audience? What kind of PhD student, where do they come from? Or what kind of lifelong learner? So which industry do they come from? What kind of knowledge they have before, and what kind of knowledge they will have and skills they will have after they take part in this course. One thing is that is also very important in this education activities, that you have the end customer in mind. So have the industry profile where these talents will kind of go after they have finished these courses. So if it's a PhD, make sure that you fit to the industry needs, so that these highly skilled talents can actually do something meaningful and impactful and bring their skills to the kind of needs of the industry. If it's a lifelong learning, then you have to have a kind of clear understanding what type of industries would be interested in buying these courses. So that like Ulf mentioned in the upscaling, also in the lifelong learning, we have a need for commercialization. And here it's the main thing is that the course is kind of sustainable, so it continues after the funding ends and brings a little bit of revenue. So you need to charge fees and make sure that kind of the course stays X amount of year after the EIT funding ends. And here the kind of consortium is, the requirements are the same as in the upscaling. So you need to have minimally 2 members coming from 2 different countries. You need to have universities or RTO or industry. It's always valuable if you bring industry to this education project as well. And one thing you need to show is that you have industry kind of endorsement to this course that you're creating. So this letter of endorsement saying that this course would be highly important, or that we would be interested in sending X amount of employees to this and this course. Typically, we have about 5, even more, but letter of endorsement from industry. And something that is seen quite positive if you are able to bring new EIT raw material members. So you don't have to be a member once you apply, but once you start getting funding, so when you get a positive kind of positive response and your project is chosen, then the kind of consortium members need to be EIT raw material members. And the kind of basic, or the kind of entry level membership is a project partner, and this is 10,000 euro membership fee, and you can receive up to 100,000 euros as kind of support from the project. So usually it's quite doable, and kind of you can make it profitable in the consortia that kind of new member joins. Co-funding is seen very positive. It's not mandatory in the PhD. In the lifelong learning, it's even kind of strongly encouraged. It can be in-kind co-funding, so equipment, facilities, so on, can be used as in-kind co-funding. And the project volume is obviously much lower than the upscaling, everything from 200,000 to a little bit less than 1 million. But I encourage you to think, we quite often see this very high budget, but if you're training 40 PhD students with the 1 million euro budget, it's quite a quite expensive PhD students. So be reasonable with the budget. And who and how to apply. So anybody who's eligible for the Horizon Europe course can apply. Like I said, you don't have to be a member when you apply. So you can reach out to SMEs or RTOs that are not part of the EIT Raw Material network. But once they kind of start receiving funding, then they are encouraged to join our kind of partnership. And with the partnership, you can also access to kind of the whole network. You can participate in the events that we have, and you can kind of apply for future funding as well. It's a two-phase process. First, we check the eligibility and the robustness of the kind of the proposal. It's a very short 5-pager proposal to see if it fits for the purpose. I will share the slides so you can access the links, but for the first stage, we have really simple templates that you just fill in and kind of follow the structure. And you can also access the call text via this link. And one very important advice is read the call text carefully. So all the information is there. And where to apply? We have this very simple seed book kind of tool. You can also find the call text and the support material here. You just need to register. The lead partner will submit the proposal in. And in the first stage is just to fill in basic information and then submit this template. So really simple. I think the most important thing is to be on time. So any proposals coming later to this deadline, the 26th of January, 1 p.m. Central European time, even if it's a minute over this, we will not review it. So be on time, don't leave it on the last.
Recommendation is to be there earlier on, right? I mean, yeah. Don't wait until the 26th.
No.
So be as early as you can. I had a few comments about co-funding as well. I forgot to mention that. So co-funding also for the upscaling innovation projects is also in kind. So typically, if you bring your end customer with you, or your target end customer, it can be Boliden in Sweden, or it can be Siemens or whatever, they are usually have the capability of absorbing the in-kind work, right? So you don't need to bother about that from the university side.
Good addition, Ulf.
Sorry?
Very good addition. Thank you for that. And then let's look at the timeline. So like I said, the first stage submission, the kind of draft submission where we just check the fit for purpose, the robustness of the proposal, is 26th of January, 1 p.m. Central European time. And then with few weeks, you get a result if you can move to the second round. And then you have plenty of time to write a full proposal. And here you find also in the portal, you find the instructions how to do that. But like Ulf said, we are here to support you. So if you have ideas, you can reach out to us, and we typically kind of follow up, have one-to-one calls to see where you are at, and can comment on your proposal. I could still share before we go to questions, I could share the kind of main page. That is a good kind of source of information. So I had this link in the slides that I will share with Margaret, and she can distribute it. But this is a good landing page. So here you have all the information that we just went through. This you can find in our webpage. And a bit more bit more information about the lighthouses, and then some of the thematics, the important deadlines, and again, the call documents. So this is really important. Read the call text carefully. Here and below here, you can find the templates and then other guidelines, KPIs, go-to-market strategy, project management guidance, and so on. So very, very important page. And then here, this link takes you to the seed book where you submit your proposal.
So on the commercialization side, as I mentioned earlier on, you need to have for upscaling and innovation, you need a commercial carrier. Typically, that will be a company already with some sales in an adjacent area. And maybe you bring a new innovation, a new product into this company, and this company will then sell the product or service into the market. We at EIT, we have been requested from EIT, that is our mother, right, to also to become financially sustainable. That means that we are looking for either revenue sharing in that commercial carrier, or we are looking for equity participation as well. So that is a part of the core text. You will see that you need to explain how you can share profit back to us, either profit sharing or revenue sharing. There are a number of different kind of options. And again, you should think about big numbers. When you apply for something, you should think about that you have an innovation that can be scaled up and that it can reach the market. That is absolutely the best, and that market, of course, should be some sort of dynamics in that market with a reasonable size. The best way, I mean, to make sure that you win a project is actually go out and talk to the customer. If you have some innovation, we can help you with that as well. If you'd like to reach out to some of our industry partners, have a discussion about your innovation, what needs to be fixed, and how big are the chances that they will buy end of the day. But if you have that dialogue in the early beginning, then you have also collect a lot of information about the robustness and the feasibility of your idea. to use our networks. You are now partner of EIT Raw Materials, so try to use our networks and reach out to people.
Thank you. Okay, so will we go to questions then? And so just one question from Edward. Thanks, Edward. And he has asked the question, are the project volume costs indicative of the 70% funding rate or of the overall project costs? So yeah, so is the 70% indicative of the, so Edward, do you mean, I suppose, just the EIT part of the funding, or is it the entire project?
No, this is the EIT, up to 5 million that I mentioned is the funding part. The funding can be is either EIT funding or we have EIT Raw Materials funding. So we have a little bit cash ourselves as we carry. In some cases, we also ship in money. But you need to divide that funding divided by 0.7, right? So then you get to the overall project budget. So 5 million, I don't know what that translates it to, maybe something like 7.5 million or something.
Okay, thank you. So there's no other questions in the chat, but if anybody, actually Deirdre, yeah, hi Deirdre. So Deirdre has asked is financial sustainability and or revenue share required of the education goals?
I think here that yes, so basically yes, but here for instance, if you have a PhD school for 800,000, it's very unlikely that it will bring this directly back. So it's required that it's sustainable, so it continues after the funding ends, and that there is some sort of revenue sharing.
Okay, thanks, Lotta. Okay, so just to reiterate again, the points. So the 26th of January at 1 p.m. CET time is the deadline for the 5-page short proposal, and that's stage 1. And then Lotta and Ulf, as they mentioned, just you can submit as many times as you wish before the deadline, but that is the final deadline. The recommendation would be not to leave it until the 26th of January. So just upload your proposal and you can, so I guess the newer upload, the most recent versions will take over from the previous version. So just make sure everything is working and everything is okay. I'm available all the time. So, you know, I can reach out to people after this as well. And if anybody wants to chat to me about the call, then that would be great. And also to mention that there's an EIT Raw Materials Stakeholder Day taking place in Helsinki, and that's taking place on the 30th of November to the 1st of December. And it would be a great opportunity if we can attend, or if anybody can attend that, to meet potential partners and projects and hear about people's ideas at the event as well. So that seems to be all the questions that we had at the moment. I know it's probably the first session. We will do a follow-up session again, hopefully in January, when it gets closer to the deadline for people as well. But in the meantime, please do reach out. And if anyone has any questions or anything like that, then feel free to email me as well this afternoon. That's no problem. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the moment. So if Lotta or Ulf want to say any final comments before we close.
So I will link the stakeholder day where you can register to the online part here in the chat. So you can hear examples of kind of successful projects. So it's a very, very kind of good way to get familiar what others have been doing, and just feel in to log in and log out when you kind of want to. No need to feel intimidated that you have to commit for the full 2 days. So the online participation is quite easy. And indeed, kind of once you start having an idea, don't hesitate to reach out to us. It's kind of, we are here the same way as Margaret is kind of your contact point at Trinity. We are here, and we are very happy to kind of support you finding the good consortia partners and to make sure that you indeed pass the first stage of the proposal and can move to the second stage.
Thank you, Lotta. Thank you. Okay, so we should leave it there so for the moment. And I just want to once again thank Ulf and Lotta for taking the time to join us and also for disseminating information about the call. And also for the people who attended today as well, just to say thank you very much for giving up your lunch break. And we hope everybody has a great afternoon and a lovely weekend. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you very much, Margaret, for arranging this.
Great. Okay, no problem. Take care now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.